Jordan Tholl from the Regina Thunder joins us. He is a nominee for the CJFL Past Commissioners Award, somebody who's done something very valuable in the community. And Jordan has done not just one thing in the community that's been very valuable. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you've been doing. I've been looking at your resume as far as community involvement and the 5 days for homeless program that you were part of, the SASKs, masks. I'd like to start there because COVID's on everybody's mind. How did that come up? You're a co-founder of SASKs, masks, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, for starting up SAS Mass, I was kind of just coming back to Canada. I was down in the States actually, where I was for a bit. So I came back up to Regina after, and it's kind of coming around, sitting around, and a few of my friends are in a student group called Enactus at school, and it's a business group that's based around social enterprises. So making a business that has different event that has a social good to it, to the side of it. And that's what we did with SAS Masks. So it was masks that we were making that we got people who could sew around Regina to make, that we would go to Fabricland or wherever we could at that time. At that time, it was going on Amazon a lot. That was when stuff was first kind of shut down, right? Sure. So it was getting those supplies together. And then we knew fabric masks, there was going to be a shortage. You needed the masks for healthcare workers, but that people eventually that we're going to have to get out. So we started to make these, sell those, and then we would donate all the profit to charities in Regina who are also in need. So we ended up making $50,000 for charities in Saskatchewan as a whole. Yeah, we had a lot of business support. Thunder bought a few masks for sure, and it was awesome. There's a credit union, Connexus Credit Union gave us a lot of support here in Regina too. So yeah, it was great, and we've won some awards for it, like Saskatchewan, the South Saskatchewan Philanthropy gave us a group of 4 of us. It's myself. I'm the only guy on the Thunder there, but myself, Ryan Sellinger, Robin Ham, and Janet Ham. So shout out to them too. Yeah. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a great experience. We're still selling masks, not quite at the pace that we were before. We all kind of got a little bit busier at school, but it was a great achievement on that side to raise that much money for charity and give those much masks to the community too, so that people can go and wear them and protect themselves while they're out and about or have to go to the grocery store and stuff like that.
Did you actually make these masks?
As far as me personally, I'm not the best sewer. I made a few for sure, but I was definitely realizing that my time is probably best spent selling online and making sure that stuff's organized and getting invoices coded out. And that was more where my side was. I made 10, 20, but when we're talking about the 10,000, no, yeah. So yeah.
10,000 masks? That's how much you guys made?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, that must have taken hours on end, volunteer hours. You've got school, you've got family time as well, and then 5 days of homeless or for homeless. What is that? And you spent some time out in the great wide open. No phone, nothing. So take us through that.
Yeah, so 5 days for the homeless is it's a CABS campaign, so it's a Canadian Business Association campaign that they do at different business schools across Canada. And Regina, definitely shout out to the UR there, has been definitely the most successful out it over the years. The last year with COVID, so I was actually 2 years ago moving back. So last year when COVID was going on, it didn't happen, but I was the year before that when I was outside. So yeah, they take 5 participants who you apply for it or whatever, and then they stay outside for 5 days and 5 nights. And then all the food you eat is based on donations and basically, and the only thing you really go inside for is you go to class. If you're supposed to go to your class, but everything else you sleep outside. The first night was super cold, I remember. Shut out pretty good. But yeah, it's all raised it's supposed to be for youth, helping youth. So for in Regina, our charity that we raise for is Carmichael Outreach in Regina, which is a center that helps people who are experiencing homelessness in Regina by providing food, by providing clothing, that kind of thing. So that's what we did, and that raised over $50,000 too. So that's been those have been 2 great experiences. Yeah, and that at the U of R, I can't speak to it highly enough, but it's produced consistently over $50,000 throughout the last few years, and it does really well. And they're planning on doing it again here this year. It'll be some virtual form again, but hoping to meet that amount again. So
yeah, it makes you proud of yourself, I would imagine, of your accomplishments, but also proud of the community to come through and continuously donate. I mean, the folks of Regina are just continually giving.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome in Regina. I really think that more than other cities that you really see in Regina, that there's a big love of the community and for charities and stuff like that. And people are very giving. And I think that's just a great thing that, like, I love being a part of Regina. So, and I think just being on the Regina Thunder and that kind of thing too, anybody wants to come on over, like, it's a great city to be. It's, it's a giving city. It's a great place. So.
Oh, and by the way, you also coached football.
Yeah.
You were doing camps as well. Was there a certain age group that you coached?
Yeah, so I coach mostly high school. I coach at O'Neill High School because, I'm an old Titan. So, so I coach there. It's a good time. Yeah, I coached some flag football last year too. And I coach a little bit of wrestling too at La Boldis High School under Regina here too. So,
wow.
Yeah, wrestling is kind of my other sport other than football. But, yeah, so do a lot of the coaching. It's super fun. It's super fun to get to know the guys. And, it's kind of fun because you're closer to the same age, but you're also still playing, so you get a lot of that. It's not just the old guy coming off drinking beers or whatever, he was just sitting around for the winter. Now he wants to come coach, kind of thing. You get the kids a little bit more.
Yeah, and also when you could say, two of my events raised over $100,000, you can listen to me, kids. You should listen to me. How about the Regina Thunder Acts of Kindness program? Because you're part of that as well. Is that basically going out and do random acts of kindness?
Yeah, so we kind of try to do a different thing every year. There's different people that we support throughout the community. There's people who are struggling with, the little guy that's in the hospital or something like that, or a kid like that. Like, one thing we did is we went out and we gave free Thunder tickets. We had 20 free Thunder tickets, and we went to the hospitals, the General and the Pasqua here in Regina, and we gave out free Thunder tickets so they could come and see a game anytime or whatever, So stuff like that, it's really different every year. We try to kind of just make something like that, especially at the start of our camps, is where we kind of do that the most. And then throughout the year, other guys will kind of get picked up and to do some other stuff there.
So where does the drive for you to give back to the community come from? Because you've been obviously part of a lot of things in the last few years, especially this past year. Where does that drive, where does that want to give back come from?
I think it just comes internally. I mean, I think is you look at yourself and you say, hey, I've got it pretty good. I get to go play football. I'm going to school. A lot of things have worked out right for me. And sometimes you realize and see people who aren't doing as well.
Sure.
And it's like, like, I wish they had what I had, that kind of thing. And realizing, putting yourself in that person's shoes and just having that empathy, I think, is what drives me. Is the things, I want to see everybody be able to succeed to the best of their abilities. And, for everybody to have that starting ground, I think is really important. So I think that's where the drive is for me, mostly, is that I really want to see everybody succeed, like, truly do. So everybody should be able to start from that same level playing field.
Do you see some of the kids that you coach or some of your Thunder teammates starting to get inspired by you and start to give back as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think for sure that's one thing. Like, I did 5 days, so yeah, again, like I said, 2 years ago. Yeah. And I think a big thing after that I noticed on the team big time, when I was down in the States for a bit, I wasn't as much where I could do with the team or whatever.
Sure.
But I was still in the group chats and everything, but there was a lot more focus on, what can we do to be at the food bank and donate time at the food bank. And before COVID happened and everything, we were starting to do that, where we had hours that we were going to the food bank and donating our time there to sort food at Regina's food bank. Mm-hmm. So I think there's been a lot more movement that's all player sourced. Like, it's guys who are leaders on the team who are saying, hey, like, this is something we should do. This is something else we should do. I think it's really tough right now during COVID.
Sure.
And there's not a ton of opportunities to just always make masks and stuff like that. Like, there's not as much in-person stuff that we can do, but I definitely see that, like, we're trying a lot more of it and we're doing a lot more of it. And actually people are going out, and it's the players who want to. It's not coach saying, hey, we have to do this. It's the players asking for that and the players setting that up. So I think it's a big thing that speaks on, the culture we have at our team here.
Well, listen, congratulations on all the success and putting back all those hours into the community and volunteering and raising all that money. You've done a fantastic job, and we're proud to say that you're a nominee for the CJFL Past Commissioners Award. And you're staying healthy, though? Everything's fine?
Oh, yeah, everything's been great with me. we've still been able to kind of do kind of our workout plan online. So our trainer kind of set up for a workout plan right now online, and then just getting together a few Zoom meets for the team and that kind of stuff. So, staying healthy, the fact that mentally wise, still get to be with the team even on Zoom and stuff like that. And physically wise, still have that workout plan, still have what we can do at the home, right? So everything works out. So been staying good. You've been staying good yourself too?
Yep. So far, so good. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever you want to say. Everything's good. So, but yeah, thanks for doing this. You're a busy guy. So thanks for spending some time, and good luck in the CJFL voting, and just happy holidays.
No, awesome. Thanks. Same to you, Ryan. I really appreciate this. So it was a good time, actually. It was kind of a nice break from being busy and crushing school and that kind of stuff. So thank you.